Hello there. My name is Anthony Barocas of StreamTech, and I wanted to take an opportunity in an ongoing video series to highlight people around the world in this industry and find out how they use technology and what things they look for when doing video production and live streaming. Today, I wanted to talk with Uria Dubinsky. Let me click this on live. We're going to use live technology to to do these shows. Uria, please tell me a little bit about yourself and where you are and what you do.
My name is Uria. I'm from Israel, living in Ashkelon. I'm mainly doing video production, some live to tape, using vMix mainly. I love all the gear and the technology around sound and video and the combination of it. That's it, I think. What else?
Well, I have to say that, I appreciate you in the live shows, and you've been able to come up with answers and tips to other viewer questions that I didn't have. So I appreciate you being there. And it shows that you've been in this industry a little bit. What is your background?
Uh, I used to do. I went to school for high school learning about how do I translate it? Sort of film school, and there we learned all around the whole business of doing film, editing, filming, audio and sound. Um, and after that, I went to stills photography. Um, I did some sports photography in stills. That was up about the Corona time. And then I had to switch because neither the photography nor the sport survived the Corona in that time. And I started a digital school of video editing. It's called דור 19. Um, and in that time, I also got into more video editing and video productions. Um, and I mainly work with video for businesses.
Okay, so mostly corporate type work, I guess, then.
Yeah.
And you mentioned vMix. Could you talk about a little bit about the type of gear that you have? Because I've said many times in the shows, there's not one solution, there's not one best camera, there's not one perfect tool. There's probably a couple different tools that you use.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Firstly, I want to say that I love and hate vMix. It's a cool program and it's very useful, but there are some things in it that why did they do it like this? And so I work with it. And we mainly do live to tape and not broadcast. And I use we have a green screen that we use. I think we have two Panasonics and a usual camera, nothing very special. But we used to do some mobile studio when we arrive at location. Then we use the PTZs. We have two of the what is name PTZ optics. We use two of this, one of the 12, I think, and 30. And we use also some other small cameras that we scatter around with the Holy Land broadcast. Holy Land wireless, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So you're using the Holy Land. Do you use NDI at all?
Yeah, but for the PTZ we use NDI.
And if you know, there's lots of different technologies. You know, whether it be SDI, HDMI, NDI, they all apparently have to end in I. Um, what do you find to be like the most useful technology in terms of doing a multi-camera live switch? I know you mentioned vmix has you have like a love-hate relationship with it, but you know what do you find like what would you say is the greatest little widget that you've found?
The greatest widget, I have two widgets, though it's not mainly streaming, but I have to speak about it. One is the Zoom F3 that proved to be very, very diversity. It can do very of many things. And also lately I bought the Osmo Pocket, the 3, and it also it you see me through it now.
Yeah.
Um, it's very, very versatile. It's very useful. Can do very many things, and I find myself use it instead of a big professional camera many times because it just do the job. So that's I haven't got to use it in streaming, but in every other scenario, like I find myself getting the running and the Canon on it, and eventually using the Osmo Pocket instead. Um, in term of streaming, I love the Holobox Mini. Um, I sometimes use it in the end of a Vmix just to add uh, the social editions. Um, and Vmix is combined with they have how do you say it?
I know there's vmix social so for the comments.
Yeah, but I don't use it. But the Vmix graphic is very hard to do. They have the GT, but
Right.
it's stumbles and it laggy, and so I edit it as either a PNGs, animated PNGs, and edit like this. Though I also use the GT, but I try not to.
Yeah, I agree with you. I've been a vmix user much the same as you. When covid hit and I needed to do remote productions with remote guests and call-ins, I had a new tech tricaster, and there at that moment there weren't the ways to bring in zoom or teams people like there is today. New technologies have evolved in the interim, but back then if you wanted to do it they had a piece of hardware called the talk show that could bring in four people for $8,000, and I was like, I'll go with vmix for 1200 and I'll bring in all eight. And but yeah, it is definitely a learning curve to vmix, and building things in the titler is nowhere near as easy as it is on the YOLO box. Just being able to like, this looks cool, size it, make it fit, there it is, I'm done. And I think that's one of the real advantages of different tools is like YOLO has made it so it's simple and easy to use. The vmix is incredibly powerful, but with great power comes great complexity.
Great headache. Yeah.
I mean, and I use it for different things, and I'm kind of good at, you know, the multi-camera live switch, but there are people doing things with automation and data, outside data sources and things like that that I haven't even begun to like really delve into. It's just such a powerful program that does so much that it's a different feature set for different people.
Yes. So I also do some animation. animation, automation. Um, Also, I use the Stream Deck for it. It's very powerful together. I wish they use the Stream Deck in the way OBS use it, because even if you move a button, you have to program it. Uh,
Again,
so
yeah, that is a
yeah,
pain in
again,
the neck. I've done that many times when I start laying out everything and then I'm like, oh, I would rather have this over there. It's a
yeah,
pain.
and you have to do it all again, all over again. Yes, so but you can program also the Stream Deck side to do multi macro and stuff, and and together with the Vmix, it get you even more powerful.
You're right, right, right. So in terms of your work, where do I've had a lot of people ask about building a streaming business. How do you market yourself? Are you your own company? Do you work with others? Do you work for a company?
Yes, everything. I I work myself, and I also freelance for a studio. Um, and this and I used to work with the channels here in Israel, but I'm not doing that anymore.
And where do you see the industry going? Where, in terms of like, what you're doing now, where do you see yourself in, say, 5 years? Do you see yourself a bigger company? Do you see yourself with employees? Do you see streaming becoming so pervasive that everybody's doing it? What do you see in 5 years?
Um, I think the short content it will not die, but I think people it's getting hard to fight the competition in that area. And I see the longer content is getting more views, like the podcast and even what you do. Um, so I think the more in depth, the more depth content is coming back, and I'm grateful for it, because the short content I don't like it very much. Uh, you
I
know,
I see a lot of people today though. They're just thumbing through stuff so fast. It's like if you can't catch them in the first second,
yeah,
you
you
don't
lost
have
that.
them. But I think you make a good point though that that's only when you've got no time, with no real time. But if you've got time to spare, or if you're looking for an answer for something, or if you're looking for instruction, or you want some in-depth information, the longer form content is where it is. You're not going to get that on that short form content.
Yeah, but more than that, now that YouTube is almost in every TV, then you sit on your couch and just like years ago we used to watch TV, now we watch YouTube. So the longer content, I think, get in that space.
That's a good point. That's a good point. It has a new audience as opposed
Yeah,
to just on the computer.
yeah,
I know my father, when he was watching YouTube, he called it YouTube University, and he would just watch all kinds of documentaries and how-to videos on YouTube.
yeah. It's just like that. Yeah.
And where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Oh, right. That was the question. I hope a bigger company, um, with workers, with that I can command everything from upstairs, and hopefully this is the way. I think that I think we have to stir the way to there, because if we will just sit and wait, the easier things to do will win, because they're easier, and then we'll see the rubbish, and that we also like the rubbish. Let's but we'll see it more, and we want the other stuff too.
That's right. That's right. We got to make the content we want to see.
Yeah.
So are you going to, does that mean you're going to be starting your own YouTube channel soon?
I have my own channel soon.
And what is that channel?
The channel is about. I have two channels. I have channel that is about technology and video production. It's part of my school, and I have channel that I started about after the war began to see where we want to navigate this country in the future. To start talking about stuff that we used to not to fight about and not talk. Um, so it's a channel of interviews. I interviews all the parts of Israel and try to get the conversation up.
And how has that channel been working for you?
For me, it's getting traction, more and more traction. For me, it was, I say I want a conversation, but even me, when I interview people, there's some stuff that I didn't know, and when I interview them, oh yeah, that's logic, yeah. It's interesting that it went this way and not that way, and um, even that I thought, when you're not speaking with each other, everyone think you know what the other one thinks, but it's very important, these interviews for me.
Having a dialogue breaks down barriers of not knowing.
Yeah,
And I think if there were more dialogue, and not just there, here in America, if there were more dialogue, then there would be a lot less, problems with issues.
yeah.
So I think we have an opportunity through our technology to foster those conversations, and I'm happy to hear that you're doing that. I think that is just commendable.
Yeah, thank you.
Um, do you have anything that you would like viewers to know in terms of using streaming technology or video technology that might not be something that's really well known?
I have something that is well known. I want you to stop filming like this and come back to this. um, but I will tell you why. As a video for the photographer, this has no space to show other stuff. It's very good for like now when we speak, a talking head. But when you want to tell a story, you have to use this other spaces in the photo. So the horizontal is much better.
You need to have a person in an environment,
Yeah,
and the environment, I see what you're saying. The environment helps to tell the story, and including the environment is important to the story. And vertical doesn't, it just excludes where that
exclude
person is.
everything. Yeah,
That's very interesting, and you make a very good point. I had not thought of it that way, but I realize now what you're saying. That is a very good way of looking at it. That space is part of the story. All right, Uria, I appreciate you taking a moment to talk with me on. This is actually the first episode of my interview series. It doesn't even have a title yet, and I look forward to other interviews, and I hope you'll tune in to the series as well.
I will. Thank you very much.
With that, if you are watching this series and you have people that you feel have stories to tell, send me a message, leave a comment, and I look forward to interviewing them in the future. My name is Anthony Barocas for Stream Tech. Thanks for watching.